like finally found my GoPro. It's been a while. Like, I got new furniture in my room and I finally found my GoPro. And because I got new furniture, I finally found my GoPro. No, but for real. So when I got new furniture in the room, like I have a new bed set and everything, I guess I like misplaced all my stuff, including my memory card. So yeah, but we here, we good, we Gucci, it's all good. I want another tattoo. I'm thinking about getting another one. And my birthday is coming up in March. So 2020 has been starting off pretty good. You know, I mean, at least like personal life and whatnot. But I hope everything's going good with you guys. And, you know, I do apologize of my absence, but your boy working. I had this question on my mind for a while, and not a question to me, but like, I mean, not a question for me, but I mean to me. And what better place to answer it when I'm on the PCH, heading home to 2 days off to my beautiful girlfriend, because our anniversary is on Wednesday. I've been getting messages on Snapchat, Instagram, and I don't even have a Twitter. I used to have a Twitter. I don't have a Twitter. On why did you get the Civic, and were you gonna get something else before it? Like what can you compare the Civic to other cars? Again, why did you choose this one? Were there anything other in mind before you got this car? And to answer all the questions, yes. Like, there was plenty of cars out there. Some of you guys know, but before I had this car, I had a Scion TC. I think it was a 2012, and it was just cosmetically done. It was a stick shift, and I love that car. You know, it was my first stick shift for me, and you know, it meant more to me and my girlfriend, because I kind of like, I called it the Batmobile. And a lot of you guys that know me from back then, like, knew that I am a big oh my god, it's bumpy. I am a big Batman fan, as well as Legend of Zelda. R18 JK. I like it. I like all. I'm actually looking into getting an R18 for a daily, but anyways, this is something else. But there's been a couple cars. I want to say there's like 4 like main cars that I was looking into. Okay, change the subject, but look at that Camaro right here. I hope you guys can see it on my rearview mirror. Doesn't it look like BB-8? Anyways, there was 4 cars that I was really looking into. I guess you can say they're in the same class, subclass as the Honda Civic Si. But here they are. So before I had the Scion TC, and anyways, long story short, it got totaled. Wasn't my fault. Got it paid off and everything. I had money left over so I can get another car. So I was looking at them, and I've always wanted to get into the Honda game. So I was looking into getting a 9th Gen SI. A 9th Gen SI was probably my first pick, because it was a little newer, and the price was like I want to say, what, 2014? I was looking at like 2015. So like, I really wanted that car, but my credit wasn't that great. And I'm not going to talk about pricing, I'm just going to talk about the cars. My credit wasn't that great, and my grandma, being my grandma, would only co-sign for me if they had it in blue, because that is her favorite color. Her favorite color is blue. It's like a navy blue. They didn't have it. They had it in white, and I was looking at a white sedan. She didn't want to do it. She didn't want to sign for me, so I was like, okay. So then I gave up on that one, and I test drove it. I liked it. It had like your daily stuff and whatnot. Y'all know what a 9th Gen SI looks like. So I wanted that car. And what the fuck? Bro, you see all kinds of cars here on the PCH. That was a Corolla. words. I'm so sorry, I get distracted when I'm driving. And I was like, okay, so looked at it, loved it, drove it, and my grandma said sleep on it, ask if they have the color in blue, and if they don't have it, then we'll go ahead and see, and blah blah. They didn't end up having the color in blue. The guy couldn't get it, so my grandma said, no, let's just wait, let's keep looking at different dealerships and blah blah blah. So I was like, okay, for whatever, like whatever, I'll keep looking. Then I went to I was looking at the Hyundai Genesis Coupe, the turbo one. I was looking at a stick shift. I wanted to get that one. Actually, I wanted to get that one in white. I wanted my next car to be white. That's why, like the 9th Gen SI, I wanted it in white, but my grandma said no. So I was looking at this one. It was in white. I liked it, but they didn't have, everywhere that I looked, they didn't have it in stick shift. It wasn't the R spec. It was just the automatic one, and I did not want to get another automatic car. As soon as I drove stick shift in my TC, because it was a stick shift, I learned, loved it. I was able to deal with this kind of traffic, and I said, screw it. My next car is gonna be a stick shift. They only had it in automatic, and I was like, you know what? Nope, I'm gonna have to, and the price was good. Like, everything was good except the transmission. I didn't want it. The next one I was looking at, I've always been a fan of the Volkswagen Gti, and I was looking at the MK5 and the MK6. Now the MK6, obviously, I mean, I don't know that much about Volkswagen. With that, I want to learn more about Volkswagen, but back then the MK7 wasn't out yet, you know. So I was looking at the MK6, and everywhere that I looked, again, no stick shift. It was only automatic for the MK6. Then I was looking at the MK5, and I found one in a stick shift around the same price as this car, as the car that I'm driving right now. And I was looking at it, and I said, you know what, that's gonna be a maybe. That's probably for sure. It was in white. It was a 2-door. I don't like the sedan, the sedan hatchbacks. I only like the coupe hatchbacks on the GTIs. It was a stick shift and everything. I test drove it. I liked it, and it was really comfortable. Like, the MK5 was really comfortable, but it was gonna be my first turbo car. And from my understanding, and correct me if I'm wrong, ooh, what is it, the 7th gen? The 7th gen SI. My girlfriend was actually gonna be co-signing with me on that one, and she said, let's sleep on it. We're gonna go take a look at it later. Afterwards, I said, you know what, since we're just looking, let's go look at the Ford Focus ST. Now, the Ford Focus ST, I think it's a great car. You know, I wasn't looking at speed, I wasn't looking at price, I was looking at how the car felt. And I drove that car. And from all of them, I want to say the Hyundai Genesis Coupe was probably my favorite looking out of the 4 that I'm talking about. Because, you know, it's a coupe, you know, and it was rear-wheel drive. That was probably the main reason why I went on. But anyways, the Ford Focus ST, overall, it's a good car. Like, you know, I liked it. Good power, you know, but it didn't feel, like, I know you can boost it up, and like, I know you can tune it up and blah 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 and do all kinds of stuff to that car to make it like a little bit faster and handle better and whatnot, but I didn't know as much back then that I do now, you know. And back then I was comparing it to the 9th gen, and I said, you know what, the 9th gen just feels so better in every way comparing it to the ST. That was just my own opinion, you know. That was keeping me from getting the car, because I was like, you know what, if I'm gonna get a car for what I like to drive and how I feel in it and blah 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 and everything, like, you know, everything, the whole package, I said, if I'm gonna get the ST, I'd rather get the SI. So my stubborn ass was like, you know what, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna look and wait for a blue gen SI. Obviously that car never came. I looked everywhere. I gave it weeks, gave it a month, and I just kept getting impatient. Then that MK5 was still at the dealership. You know, it just, nobody really wanted it.
And that kind of gave me a red flag on like, why haven't they sold this car yet? You know, like it was a popular car. It was a popular car back in the day. MP5 was a pretty good car. I almost pulled the trigger on that, and as soon as I went to the dealership, I saw this car. I saw the 8th Gen SI. To be honest, the GTI felt a lot faster from factory, like stock for stock. Now it's a little different. Now it's a little different, but stock for stock, the GTI felt faster. It handled, it was more comfortable and it was quieter. But then I test drove this car, and it just felt so raw. Ora, you know what I mean? Like, it just felt like toma, like it just felt great. And I'm fucking the guy that got it from the dealership, he was laughing because he goes, "You really like this car?" And I'm like, you know what, I do. And he goes, well, comparing it to the GTI, which, like, what do you like about it? And he goes, what got me into this car really good was the fact that it revved up to 8,000 RPMs, and just how it sound, how VTEC sound. But what really got me, and it might be childish, but it was the gauges. I love the gauges in the 8th Gen SI. It's probably one of my favorite gauges of all time, other than the S2000 cluster. That's also why I got it, because I felt like, and I still feel like, the 8th Gen SI is a poor man's S2K. It's just a front-wheel drive, 8th Gen high-revving engine, and it felt great, you know? What got me into the Hondas was my friend Kevin's red S2000. You guys have seen it a couple times in the video. And I was like, you know what? I really want to get in. He was the one that taught me how to drive stick shift. He was the one that taught me how to do this and all that. So I was like, you know what? I want an S2000, but obviously that wasn't able going to happen anytime soon because of my daily commutes, my activities. Also, side note, my GoPro's been giving me issues. It was full power when this video started. Now it's about to die. So now, do I regret getting this car? You know what? I do not. And I said it before, and I'll say it again. If it wasn't for this car, I wouldn't have started my channel. If it wasn't for this car, I wouldn't have met a bunch of you guys. And especially, I would have not met Hector, you know? And Hector now is one of my best friends that, you know, we just clicked. So I would have never met Hector if it wasn't for this car. So this car right now has like a bigger value, sentimental than actual value to me. Now that doesn't mean I won't ever get rid of it. You know, like I don't know if I see myself with this car forever. There's a bunch of different cars out there that I really want to like experiment with and test out, but I don't know if I'm gonna leave Honda anytime soon. You know, like right now, like yes, I just got the carbon fiber hood, and yes, I just got the headlights, but right now I'm really eyeballing the 2020 SI. I really am, you know. And just hear me out. My heart says Type R, but my wallet says SI. Like, I could afford it, but I could afford a Type R, but then I'd be living paycheck to paycheck. And I've learned that just because you can afford it doesn't mean you should buy it, you know. That's one thing that, if I give you guys one advice, just take that right there. Just because you can afford it doesn't mean you should buy it. And I'm trying to freaking like buy a house like within the next 3 years, 3-4 years. My car is paid off in about 4 months, 4 or 5 months, which is really good. So I was like, you know what, stay a little bit longer, maybe do a couple more mods here and there, pick up a little daily on the side, and then once I get my second car and get like a little daily, which I'm just gonna buy cash out, which is why I mentioned I was looking into an R18, because you guys know my daily commute. I drive about 100 miles a day, maybe a little bit more. So I really don't want to stress out the engine, this one, too much. So once I do that, then obviously I'd be looking at boost or building a motor, depending on what I do. But like, you know, like depending on what the circumstances are, just depends if what's gonna happen. Like, I do want to build this car more than it has, because obviously these 8th gens have so much potential. You know, like I want to do so much crazy shit to it, but I got different priorities that
I need to take care of, you know, and I'm trying to take it up to the next level, if you guys know what I mean. At least with my personal life. Responsibilities will always come first, and then cars. Cars is my #1 hobby. Actually, no, cars is my second hobby. I'm so sorry. My #1 hobby is damn video games. I will probably buy video games more than car parts any day of the week. I'm sorry. That's just how I am. But yeah, I know I was blabbering about a bunch of different stuff, but those are the cars that I was looking at. Will I ever get those? You know what? I thought about it, and out of all 4 of those, the only ones I would probably pick up, like as like a second car, or like maybe down the line and have it as a second toy, you know, and still have a daily. #1 out of all those 4, I would probably be the Genesis Coupe. Like, yes, I know it's Hyundai, yes, you know, but I like how it is, especially my boy Philip has one. You've seen it on the channel maybe a couple times here and there, but his is tuned, has all the bolt-ons. I think he's looking into getting an upgraded turbo now, or whenever, and it looks great. Looks great, sounds great. It's boosted from factory. He hasn't had any major issues. I think he's running at like 110,000 miles now, and he drove to Northridge and Oxnard back like 3-4 days a week for college with that car. And like I said, he had no issues, and that was like that was something I really wanted to get. But and he has the R spec, the stick shift. I drove in it a bunch of times. I've never got to driven a stick shift one, but I was only able to drive the automatic one. But man, that would be a fun little project toy, like on the side with this one, you know, like this one, Hyundai Genesis Coupe, and then a little daily, you know, or this one and an S2K and a little daily, you know, like something in that category. Like, yeah, I would pick an S2K over a Genesis Coupe any day of the week, but like if I had the chance, I would probably get one. You know, Genesis Coupe was always on my mind before I got this car. So eventually, one day, I'd like to test it out and just finally pick at it. That way my subconscious could just be like, okay, cool, you tried it, you didn't like it, or you liked it, let's move on, you know. So yeah, guys, I know it was a random video, but you guys were like, a lot of you guys are curious about stuff like that, and honestly, I do miss these kind of vlogs when we're just driving and talking and whatnot. So I need to get back in it. I know, guys. So I'm gonna try. This fool was smoking in his car, and I ain't judging, but I will never smoke in my car, because then your value goes down, and then it smells like cigarettes or cigar weed or whatever, you know what I mean, like. But whatever. Oh, look at that! It was a Mustang. Mustang. But yeah, I'm gonna put the camera down now because I'm driving against the sun and it is pretty annoying. Boy, if that falls off your car, I am not helping you. You pretty ballsy, dude. Damn, dog. Funny story, I moved the couch before, and I only had extension cords to move the couch with, and that's what I used to tie it on the roof. Long time ago. Got my Xbox right there. Play on a little monitor, little headset. Y'all want to laugh at this? Where are you at? That's me. But for sure, guys, that's gonna be it for today's video. And Hyundai Genesis Coupe, probably, I don't know, like that'd be dope, but only one can think. Just me thinking out loud, guys. Don't worry. The SI staying. These are just 4 different cars that I almost got, and yeah. So see you guys in another video. You guys have a good day. Peace.